Hello and welcome to EXP Monthly for February 2026, and our game is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, commonly called KOTOR, and this came out in July of 2003, originally on the original Xbox and the PC. It has since then had a couple remasters, releases on some of the more modern systems and consoles. You can still play it. A little bit about this game. For me, going into it, it's a game I've never played. I like a lot of these other EXP Monthly games I haven't played. For the most part, I really have never been spoiled on for it. Now, I've never picked it up, even though I have been a big BioWare fan, especially this era. I've dabbled into the first two Baldur's Gates, though I don't think I ever beat them, but Dragon Age Origins, the first couple of Mass Effects were some of my favorite games. Even Neverwinter Nights, one of my favorite games of all time. I put a lot of hours on it. And often when I talk about those games, especially like the first Mass Effect or second Mass Effect, people would always be like, "Oh, have you played KOTOR?" And I always said no, just because I hadn't played it. So it's been on my backlog to play. Part of the reason I've never got to it personally is I like Star Wars, but I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan. So I didn't have that little extra push probably that would normally got me to jump into it. Because I have heard very high praise for this game. I have at least one of my really close friends. This is like his favorite game. The first KOTOR and KOTOR 2 are like his favorite games of all time. And I know a couple other of my close friends who always sing the praises of specifically the first game for having fantastic characters and a great storyline that is comparable to the original Star Wars trilogy. So I'm excited to finally jump into this. Like many other games for EXP Monthly I have not played, it's been on my backlog, and this is just the kick in the tush for me to jump into it finally and play it. I was going to play it on PC, but you gotta kind of do some mod and a little bit of fiddling to kind of get to play nice, at least at higher resolutions, and fix the HUD and stuff. So I got a little bit into it at the start of this, but I'm going to restart and just play the Switch release. Just kind of turnkey solution. But yeah, I'll have details as always, links below where you can pick it up, and hope to have a lot of people in the community check this out, and excited to hear what people think about this game and finally know what all this praise is. So I'm going into this with a pretty high standard, at least when it comes to the narrative. Again, I've heard the story and characters are fantastic. One other interesting thing before I end this is a lot of these early BioWare games were D&D games. So this game is actually, I think it's D&D 3.5, but it's a D&D engine. It could be maybe even advanced D&D, but I'm pretty sure it's 3.5 converted to Star Wars. So it is a little bit clunky in that regard when I was playing it, because it's just like, I feel like I'm playing like the old school Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights, but it's Star Wars. So that is pretty interesting. It'll be kind of cool to see all the twiddling and tweaking they did with the system, or how little, just how nice it just plays with that as a skeleton. But yeah, that in my first like hour or so of play, that was pretty glaring and pretty interesting. So that's just a little fun thing to know going into this. But again, I'm Philbert. This is the EXP Monthly. Hope to check this out. Again, links to the Discord, the website below. Show up, interact, and be involved.